going on? It's Seth here, and in today's video I just want to give you some tips and tricks on how to maintain your weight or even lose weight during this time. As you know, we are all back at home, we are logged into our homes, and in this time it's very easy to kind of skip on your training, to binge, to just sit down, watch movies and eat up all of your snacks. But of course we don't want to do this because we don't want to come out of this quarantine being a lot more fat and less fit. So I kind of changed up my diet in this period, since I am very inclined to do all of these things that I just listed. I just love to sit down, watch movies all day and snack a lot of crap like Doritos, ice cream and all of this. But of course I don't want to do that. I don't want to ruin my physique in these months, because we might be in this situation for months. So what I've been doing is that I changed my diet for intermittent fasting. I was never a big believer in intermittent fasting, and I still don't believe that it's a better way to lose weight than flexible dieting. Because I still believe that in order to lose weight, the main thing is going to be that you need to consume less calories than how much your body actually uses. So why did I change for intermittent fasting? The reason is that I find that with intermittent fasting, it's much easier to skip all of these binge eating, since you are going to be fasting for 16 hours and you are going to be eating only an 8-hour time frame. So you have kind of less chance to binge, and also of course you are going to be trying to eat enough proteins to make sure that you fuel your muscles and you maintain your muscles, because you've been working so hard for them, so you want to kind of keep them. So, but in order to eat all of those proteins, fats and carbs that your muscles need in order to maintain them, you will need to eat a lot of food that contain all these proteins and nutrients that your body needs. And by eating these foods, you will kind of have a sense of fullness, and you won't really feel like binging out, because you will already kind of have the satisfaction, that feeling of fullness. So I feel like that by doing this kind of diet, it's much easier to keep yourself away from binge eating. Another thing why I decided to go with intermittent fasting is because I kind of always wanted to try this kind of diet. And I feel like that this diet is only suitable for people who have a kind of life when every single day you kind of have the same routine. You are working in the same hours, and then you are kind of training in the same hours, because you are going to have to fast for 16 hours and eat in an 8-hour time frame. But if your days are kind of a mess, then you cannot be sure that you will be able to eat in that 8 hours, because maybe that's going to be the time when you have to be at school, you have to be at work. But now that we have all this time and we are just kind of back at home, or of course some of you are working even harder, but most of us have all this time, and we kind of can fit this to our life now because we have all this time. So I feel like that this is a great time to test intermittent fasting and see how it works for you. One very important thing that I want to mention though is that you should not believe the fact that intermittent fasting is you don't eat for 16 hours and then in that 8-hour time frame you can eat just whatever you want, because this is not true. In that 8-hour time frame you can still easily overeat and gain weight in the process. I can just sit down and eat 3000 calories in the same time so easily. And if I just do that twice in that 8-hour time frame, then I'm already consuming 6000 calories and I'm going to gain a lot of weight. So you need to make sure that you still count your calories, as I said in my previous videos, and you need to make sure that you eat quality food. So what I would recommend is to make sure that at least 80% of the times you are eating quality food that are high in protein and high in fiber. And these foods will be the best ones to give you the sense of fullness and keep you away from binging and eating a lot of crap. You also want to make sure to eat foods low in fat, because these ones are usually more filling, and also a higher fat content is going to raise the calories by a lot. So I would recommend to just eat quality food that are high in protein and fibers 80% of the times, and then the rest 20 can be something higher in fat or some snacks while you are just chilling at home and watching your movies. So of course you want to reward yourself a little bit, but you don't really want to go overboard too much. Another fact why I feel like that intermittent fasting is great is just the fact that I feel like I can enjoy food much more this way, because you are going to be fasting for 16 hours, so you are going to be kind of starving by the time that you can finally have some food. And I feel like that when I can finally eat, I'm able to enjoy that food much more. And I'm a big foodie, so I feel like that this is just a great feeling, and it just kind of makes intermittent fasting for me even better. So just to recap the whole thing and to make sure that you understand how intermittent fasting works, intermittent fasting is really simple. All you are going to do is that you are going to try to fast, so you are going to be eating nothing for 16 hours. In this time frame, you will only be drinking water or anything that doesn't contain calories. Of course, you can drink like a Diet Pepsi or black coffee, water, so all of these things are allowed. The only thing that you need to make sure of, that you don't consume anything that has calories. And then when you finish with your 16 hours of fasting, in the rest 8 hours you are going to be eating, and in these 8 hours you should be trying to make sure that you have enough quality foods that will fuel your body, and make sure that you maintain the muscle that you've been building before. But also you want to make sure that you don't eat too much calories, because you are going to be still gaining weight if you do so. So I recommend on having high protein, high fiber foods, and I still recommend on counting your calories, as I mentioned it in my previous videos. So if you want to know more about how I'm managing my intermittent fasting and diet during this period, and if you want to see some great recipes and workout programs, then just check back to my channel, like this video, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.